Card Wars was originally a fictitious game in the animated series Adventure Time. After the success of the episode, the card game was created and has many expansions.
No! He's eating all my cornfields! My Oscar Knights draw energy from corn!
First, you choose your deck. If you're playing for the first time, I'd recommend you try each deck and see which one better fits your playstyle. Card Wars is a bit similar to Magic: The Gathering in that the different decks have different themes. Our decks consist of blue plains and cornfields. Both specialize in floop abilities, but their floops are either damage increasing, the cornfields, or more strategic, the blue plains. I'd recommend looking at the cards in your deck, see which ones work with each other, and what combos you might be able to pull off. Then, set up your landscapes across from your opponent. A pair of opposite landscapes are called a lane. Now you decide who goes first. If it's your first time playing, you do it at random. For the next game, the last winner, known as the cool guy, gets to go first. To start the game, shuffle your cards and draw 5. If you don't like your hand, you can mulligan once for a new hand. The game creator suggests you have at least 2 creatures for a good first hand. In the fight sequence, the first step is to ready your cards. The first turn, however, you don't have to ready your cards. Now you can spend 2 actions. Cards have a number in the top left to show how many actions they cost to play. Normally, cards cost 1, 2, or 0 actions, but they can cost more. If you have any actions left after playing your cards, you can play 1 action to draw another card. It's important to note that you can't lose the game by drawing all of your cards, and there's not a hand size limit. Some cards have abilities that are paid for by actions, so keep that in mind. Whenever you place a creature card, it has to be on their landscape type, shown in the top right of the card. Rainbow cards can be placed on any landscape type, and also buildings can be placed anywhere, regardless of type. For the first turn of the game, the player can't fight or floop. Flooping is when a card gives you a special action to use instead of fighting. You can floop a card at any point before fighting. Flooped creature cards do not fight during the fight phase. Also, buildings can be flooped as well. So if a creature has a floop ability, you must decide whether you want to floop or fight. This is a part of the strategy of Card Wars. Sometimes flooping will be more advantageous than fighting, but it could also be the opposite. After fighting or flooping them, they are turned sideways for the rest of the turn and are considered exhausted. Any creature cards you put down have to fight unless you floop them. If another creature is in the lane with them, they will fight each other. They both take damage equal to their own creature's attacks, shown in the bottom left of the card. The game comes with its own damage tokens you can use to show damage, but for us we use dice instead. Only the attacking creature gets exhausted, not the defending one. Damage stays on the creature until it gets more damage than its defensive value in the bottom right, or the creature is replaced. You can replace creatures before they are defeated. When your creature attacks and there's no creatures to defend, the other player takes damage. Each player has 25 health to start the game, and you win by reducing the other players to 0. When the next player starts, they ready their cards as they are exhausted. So, if your cards were exhausted the last turn, you ready them. You ready them by flipping them vertical again. After you ready your cards, you draw a card, use your actions, and floop or fight, and the cycle continues until one person becomes the cool guy. During my game, I pulled off one of these deck combos. Situations like these demonstrate why the game is similar to Magic. Because I knew my deck and its cards, I was able to pull off this card's effect and take out over 10 points of health in a single turn. Next game, I might not be so lucky because now he knows about my deck. However, the cards can be made into a new deck. Depending on how many sets you have, you can create brand new decks by combining different landscape types. If you're confused about a certain card's mechanics, then chances are someone else has been too. In the back of the rulebook is a specific card's clarification list for exactly this purpose. If you enjoyed your first set of Card Wars, there are many to collect. And there's also a doubles set, which allows you to play 2 against 2. Card Wars is a great game. And there's so many variations to play, you can play for a long time without getting bored with it. Also, a lot of the cards are cute and funny and keep it interesting. Card Wars is always on my recommendation list.